guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Cami. So for today's video, we are doing an exciting review all about the Stupid Love Haus Laboratories palette. This is accompanied by Lady Gaga, and this is her second palette. Her first palette was actually a neutral palette, which I wasn't interested in at all. I was actually very confused because, you know, knowing Lady Gaga, she's all about the colors, so why would she come out with a neutral palette? I don't know. So when I saw this color scheme, I was very excited because it was so much more color. And it really reminisced Gaga, you know, the blues and the pinks and the colorfulness. So I was really excited about it. If you want to see my review and a look on this palette, just keep watching. So this is what the palette looks like. It has a silver cardboard packaging, and it says Stupid in black lettering and then Love in the raised lettering on the cardboard. So this is a cardboard packaging, which does feel cheaper. However, it is better for the environment because it's cardboard instead of plastic. The back shows all the shade names on like a little sticker, but it also has the shade names in the palette, which I love because it's hard to like figure out which name correlates to which color in the palette, in my opinion. So that's the outer packaging. It also came with a little plastic protector that is Gaga, which honestly, like, iconic in my opinion. Like, that's just such a cool little thing to have. And I typically just throw away these little like plastic covers that come on top of here that protects the eyeshadow while it's shipping. But I actually really like this, so I think I might keep it and kind of like save it because it's really, really, really pretty. This is what the inside looks like. It's pretty much a blue palette with a pop of like neutral and oranges, which I think is very unique in the industry because it's usually like neutrals with a pop of blue. But I will put up swatches of the palette here. The mattes were chalky, some of them at least, like Plastic Doll and My Mind. They were very chalky. So even though some of the mattes are chalky, they are pigmented, as you can see in the swatches. However, the shimmers are kind of lackluster, to be honest. Like 1,000 Doves and Rain on Me and Light It Up weren't that pigmented. Like, they didn't have much of a base to it. It was pretty much just shimmer, which is not the greatest. Like, maybe one or two shades can be just like a lid topper, but I prefer my shimmers to have a base. However, Free Woman, you could see in the swatches, is so pigmented, and you'll see in the tutorial portion of this that I tried using a brush and it didn't really work out, so I ended up using my finger and it worked out better. But I think for most of the shimmer shades, the finger will work better because they are kind of like a shimmery, you know, not much of a base type of deal. The shimmer shades that are pigmented are really chunky, and they're kind of like, there's a lot of fallout. Actually, even with the mattes, there's a lot of fallout. There's a lot of kickback, there's a lot of fallout. So if you are planning to use this palette, I think you should do your eyeshadow first and then your face makeup so that you don't have to worry about all that color on your face. This is an alright palette. I don't think it is beginner friendly by any means. I think that you need to know how to use a palette in order to work with the shadows in here because they're not the easiest shadows to work with. I think easy shadows to work with are like ABH and ColourPop even, but these shades are kind of a little bit more difficult to play with, and they're a little bit more difficult to blend as well. I was really struggling with Sign in the tutorial to like really pack it on and get it pigmented because I really wanted that blue shade to show. It just kept like going away and getting patchy, so I had a difficult time with this palette, to be honest, but I do still think it is a beautiful palette. Do I think it is worth $48? I don't think so, if I'm going to be honest. I think that that is a little bit more expensive than what the quality of the shadows give. I think they are heading in the right direction. I think that it could be better, and I'm really excited to see what they have coming out. I think they need to work a little bit more with their formulation because it's not as pigmented or as great as I would like it to be. I mean, that orange shade is really pretty if you could see it, but the blue shade kind of like faded away. It's not the greatest. I used my hard-earned money to pay for this palette, and I just don't know if it lived up to how much I paid. But it is a really great palette, and I do love Lady Gaga. I've been listening to Rain on Me like on repeat, but if I'm going to be very honest, I don't think this is the greatest palette in the world, and I think you can get better blue shadows in the Blue Blood or ColourPop eyeshadows. So alright guys, so let's get started. My hair is in a little bun, so you might not be able to see it, but it is there. I still have hair, and I'm wearing a blue scrunchie inspired by the palette because of all the pretty blues in here. I am going to start out by priming my eyes using the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. I'm just going to use this with a little sponge because I forgot my brush downstairs. We'll just use a little sponge. I've been watching a couple videos about this. I don't know, there's a lot of negative feedback on the palette, but obviously I want to give you my full opinion because I did purchase it, so I will not hesitate to be mean to it. So I also want to make a crisp like outer wing, so I'm going to be using the e.l.f. tapes to do that. I love these things, like it's been a lifesaver because I can't do like a sharp wing to save my life. I'm just gonna connect it to the end of my eyebrows. Being said, please excuse my eyebrows. Obviously, I have not been able to go to the salon to get it done. I usually get it done every other month or every month, so they are in very much need of a cleaning and a grooming, so please excuse the way they look right now. We're just gonna have to deal with it. So I'm gonna start off by setting the lid, and I'm gonna take this bright white shade right here and set the entire lid with it. The mirror is really nice, to be honest. Like, this is a really nice big mirror. Really great for traveling, and it's very crisp, so I really like that. This is a very white shade, and so I was actually swatching this before I started this video, and a lot of the mattes are kind of chalky, which is what people have been saying in the, you know, as I watch the videos. So we'll see how it blends out though, because that's the most important thing to note. So for the outer crease, I'm going to take this Enigma shade. It's like a light blue shade. I'm gonna take that and put it on the outer corner. I'm kind of wanting to use the blues and the pinky orangey warm tone colors. So hopefully this works out, I have no plans at all. So we're just gonna take that on the outer crease right here. So I cleaned it off right here, and I'm gonna go in with that again because it had some excess color from the previous makeup look that I did. So I just took that off. I actually like this shade. It's a nice shade. All right, you see how the different colors are? All right, so because I had a little bit extra from the previous shade, we're just gonna go in again and re-prime everything because those were two different colors on my eyes, and that is not good. But we can always fix it. I took a makeup wipe and took it out, and now I'm re-priming that end with the MAC Painterly Paint Pot, and I'm gonna set it again with that white shade. Now that we are back to where we were, I'm gonna take that Enigma shade and build up the outer crease. There is a lot of kickback when you dip your brush in, so that doesn't bother me, but I know it bothers some people, so there is that. This is actually the first thing I've ever purchased from Haus Labs. They have never really caught my eyes with their other releases. Like, the first palette they had was a very boring, like, neutral palette, which no. And then their lipsticks, I heard they're good, but was never really interested in them, and their eyeliners too. So when this came out, I was very interested in it because this looks like more of the Gaga we all, you know to be. I was really excited for this release, and I saw Nikki Tutorials put a video on it, and Nicole Concilio. So I was really excited about it when I heard it. A smaller crease brush, this is the M433, and I put that blue shade with the Jeffree Star X Morphe JS5. So this Morphe M433 is a little bit thinner, and I'm gonna take the Enemy shade, and I'm gonna put that in the crease next to the blue shade. That's actually a really pretty orangey color. And it's actually marrying pretty well with the blue there. I don't see any patchiness. It looks pretty good. Now to blend out that orange shade a little bit more, I'm gonna take Plastic Doll and diffuse the upper edge of it. Whew, that one's really powdery. That looked like it just like dusted away all the orange that I just put on there. So that pink shade kind of just dusted away all the orange that I just initially put on there, which I don't really like. I'm gonna take this Wet n Wild flat shader brush, and I'm going to take the Sign shade right here, this dark blue shade, and put it on the outer corner. This is actually one of the colors I was most excited for because it's just such an electric blue. It looks gorgeous. A lot of fallout though. All right, I'm gonna take the Enigma shade when we put in the outer crease and just blend that Free Woman shade out. I'm gonna do the same with the other side. So when I blend it out, it just kind of disappears. I'm a little bit frustrated with that color. Now it's getting kind of patchy. All right, this is going south, but we'll try to fix it. So I'm thinking that you can't really blend the edges too hard or else it'll just like completely disappear, which I am a little frustrated about because I really want that really pigmented Sign shade. Like, it's gorgeous, but it's just not staying, and I can't blend it out or else it'll just blend away. Okay, I think I'm done with that shade because that's really starting to make me mad. Now I'm cleaning that Wet n Wild shade off, and now I'm gonna take the shade Enemy right here, this orangey shade, and put that in the inner corner on the rest of the lid that doesn't have that blue color. All right, this Enemy shade is beautiful. I think it's gorgeous. So I took art in high school, and blue and orange are complementary colors. So I really wanted to make a look with these two colors in mind because they're gorgeous together. But I'm worried that it could look muddy in the middle, so I'm hoping I could fix that a little bit or make it blend. But I like that orange shade a lot. There is a lot of fallout that I am seeing, so I want to let you know that there is a lot of fallout between the two colors. There's just a lot of fallout in the palette in general, I think. I want to take one of the shimmery shades and put it in the middle. I think I'm gonna go in with Free Woman, this silver shade right here, and kind of put it in the middle of those two colors to maybe blend the two. And I'm going to use a brush. This is the Olimar little like definer brush. It doesn't have a name, so I'm gonna take that first. If it doesn't work, then I'll use my finger, but I want to try with the brush first. It is very, very crumbly. It's not as pigmented as I would like with a brush. I'm gonna try with my finger. I'm gonna take my pinky finger, dip it in there. Comes up with a lot on the finger. Very chunky though. That looks way better than with a brush. So definitely just need to use your finger to apply these shades. Otherwise, it's not gonna be that pigmented and you won't really see it. The thing I don't like about using your finger though is that you can't really get precise with it because, you know, you don't really have thin fingers. At least I don't, because I got stubby fingers right here. We can try to make it work. So that shade has a lot of fallout. So now what I'm gonna do is try to go back with the blue shade and the orange shade and kind of mesh it with that silver shade that we just put on and kind of blend the two together. All right, so the blue is way more pigmented on this side than this side, and I don't know why, because it didn't do anything different besides messing up earlier. That could be it. I'm gonna take that orange shade, revamp it, mix it up. So we're just gonna go back and forth between the shimmery shade on the finger and the matte shades on the brush to try to mesh the two together. But I want to build that orange shade up on this eye. So the blue shade is more vibrant on this eye, but the orange shade is more vibrant on this eye. Do I know why? No. No idea. I'm gonna go back in with 911 and highlight the brow bone. This is like a super stark white shade, so it's really vibrant. I'm gonna highlight the inner corner shade with Light Up right here. I don't know if that's gonna pick up on the brush, but we shall see. Very chunky. Very, very chunky. It's kind of like, it has like a pink duochrome with it. It's kind of cool. I want to do a liner on the top, so I'm going to use the Melt Immortal Ultra Matte Gel Liner. I'm really bad at winged liner, so I use the tapes to help me make a wing because I am just not good at it. I also have not had a lot of practice with it, so I use the tapes to help me. Call it cheating, but I do it. I wish I could be ambidextrous so I'm not like this, you know, but your girl can only do so much. I can only imagine the faces I make while I do makeup. But you know, I'll see when I edit. I'ma see all my fancy faces while I do my eye looks. I'm gonna take these off, clean off some of this. I'm gonna finish the face and put on some lashes, and then we'll come back and do the bottom lash line. So the face makeup is done, and I have the Morphe Premium Lashes in Go On and Fake It. So now we're gonna do the lower lash line to finish the look off, and then we will put on some lips. So I'm gonna basically do bottom lash line like how I did the top. So I'm gonna take an e.l.f. eye crease brush, just kind of like a little palm brush. I'm gonna take Sign Shade, the blue one. Tap off the excess and run it down the bottom lash line halfway. I'm gonna take that Enemy shade, the orange shade, and meet it up with the blue on the other side of the lower lash line. I'm gonna touch up the inner corner shade because it got lost when we were doing the face makeup. So I actually forgot my mascara downstairs, so I'm not going to put any mascara on the bottom lash line. But I'm going to finish the lips off with the Maybelline Lipliner in Totally Toffee. And then for the lip color, I'm going to put He's a Mixer from KKW. This is from the Mario and KKW collaboration. I'm just going to put it in the middle because I just want a little bit of color. Totally Toffee lip liner again and kind of fill in the edges. And then I'm gonna finally top it off with the ColourPop Luxe Gloss in Come Through. This is actually the first time I'm using this, so I'm excited to try it. Alright guys, so this is the final makeup look. I kind of like how it turned out, honestly. Like, I love the blue and I love the orange mixed together. I think it's really pretty. I do think that there is some problems with this palette, but if you are patient with it, you can work through it. And I think it's an okay palette. I don't think it's worth the $48 that I paid, but I am happy I have it. I do love Lady Gaga, and this is a beautiful palette. I think that it is not beginner friendly. I think that you need some makeup skills and you need to know how to work with it in order for it to really work on anyone's eyes. But I had fun with it. I mean, it was complicated and it was a little bit more difficult, but I think the end result is pretty good. You can actually make a lot of looks out of this. There's a lot of blues, and I really want to work with this teal right here. I think it's really pretty. I hope you love the review on this palette, and let me know down in the comments below if you plan on picking it up too. I wanted to be sure that I gave you my full opinion. So please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!